I really like the scene where Carmine Sr., Carmine Jr. and Johnny Sack talk at the golf range. It's such a great scene and really deserves its own video. It is in the middle of the HUD issue, no solution in sight, and Tony has gone down to visit Carmine Jr., the first time we've seen him on the show, to get his father to see reason. Little Carmine calls John a greedy motherfucker and questions the advice he gives to his father, the first sign that Johnny Sack and Little Carmine don't see eye to eye, which would eventually explode into a succession war. All three men here have an agenda. Most of Sack's income comes from the Esplanade. He's hurting, so he wants the situation resolved as soon as possible. And he's also Tony's friend. He hates Little Carmine and tried to kill Carmine Sr. Carmine Sr. also wants to settle, but he wants to do it on his terms. Then there's Carmine Jr., whose ego will be bloated that Tony Soprano came to see him to find a solution to this situation. It's a chance for Little Carmine to feel important and to prove his worth to his father. Carmine Jr. could probably have never dreamed that Tony Soprano would come to him to resolve the situation involving the two families. But as Little Carmine has arrived with Tony's hot air and Sack is desperate for a compromise, this could easily turn into 2 versus 1 with Carmine Sr. backed into a corner.
Anything you could do to change your father's mind?
I'm gonna try, John. I came all the way up here for that.
But Carmine Sr. outwits his son, starting off by undermining him, treating him like a child.
You put your sunblock on?
And then giving Tony a compliment that would be a major blow to Junior, stinging his self-respect as Little Carmine starts shit-talking Tony out of resentment and jealousy. And I do wonder if Carmine Sr., the slippery fuck that he is, made that comment on purpose to rile up his son against Tony and essentially get Junior back on his side, rather than it simply being an offhand comment. He knows Tony is trying to use his son as a puppet against him, and saying he wishes Tony was his son enrages Little Carmine and sabotages Tony's entire plan. Now it's 2 versus 1 against Johnny Sack, who looks shocked at Junior's comment and sudden change of demeanour.
It's a bit of a poseur, you ask me.
The only reason Little Carmine even flew out was to help Tony, and Carmine Sr. throws cold water on it right away, turning Junior against Tony with one single comment. Little Carmine stabs Tony in the back, and Johnny Sack tries and fails to distract everyone with where this conversation is going. Carmine was ready for a fight, but it may actually be the case that in a rare instance, it was actually his son who got the better of him and outwitted his father by intentionally mentioning the Sopranos as a family, knowing his father's reaction would be. Carmine's face shows he's played his father here. It's the face of a man who knows he's caused dysentery in the ranks. Johnny Sack tries again by mentioning the longevity of New York's business with the Sopranos, how he's known Tony for many years. But Little Carmine is on a roll now, and he's ready for this comment.
On reflection, John, maybe that's the sticking post. Tony feels like you're friends and not business associates.
This sends Carmine Sr. irate, and perhaps him smashing his golf club like a hothouse flower and Little Carmine's flinch is a glimpse into how much of a vicious gangster Carmine Sr. may have been in his youth. If he does that as an old man, imagine him as a young man. Senior played Junior, and then Junior played Senior, showing he does have some of his father's cunning. And the scene ends with Johnny no better off, glaring at Little Carmine with his Manson lamps and remembering the times when Little Carmine would wait in the golf cart. And as far as he's concerned, he should still be there. So everyone's playing politics here, and sure, the Carmine Sr. may have gotten played by his son, but nothing has changed. Senior still wants his 45%, and Tony has lost Little Carmine as a backer, thanks to one comment made by Carmine Sr.